Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. I hope everybody is doing well this evening. So we're going to be talking about the executive orders the president did, the blowback from it, so I'm going to share some thoughts, and I want to hear your feedback as well. Okay, so we will definitely get into this, and I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a good chat, hopefully a good chat. I would ask everybody to please be civil in the chat. We can agree to disagree like adults. If we don't have the same opinions, that's fine. Let's just be respectful of each other. Okay, so I want to remind everybody, if we have any issues with the chat, that I will get right back on right away. You may not get a second notification, so you have to go back to my channel and find me again that way. But I will get right back on right away. Okay, so just putting that out there to start with. Again, I want to remind people that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. So please be decent in the chat with each other, especially with this topic, because we have people obviously are very divided, on this topic. And so it should be interesting. I think it will be anyway. I'm pretty sure it will be. So, but anyway, if you are not decent in the chat, those awesome people lit up in blue, we'll boot you out of here. So just don't do it. Okay, that's all I ask, and hopefully we'll have a great talk here. So, but all right, so let's get into this topic. All right, as we all know, the president did some executive orders on Saturday because of the stalemate that was going on between the Republicans and the Democrats not coming to a decision to help people. Eyes wide shut. Hello, everyone. Has anyone heard of the news about a full spectrum survival's homestead burning down? I had not heard that. That would be bad if that happened. God, that would be horrible. I hope that didn't happen. But anyway, let's hope not. So if anybody has that information, definitely let us know. But hey, Prepper Nurse 1. Hi, all. Lottie here from Nevada. Born and bred, but now out of Texas. Oh, there we go. Okay, very nice. Welcome. All right, so here's the thing. And I'm going to give you some opinions really quickly, first of all. Okay. They basically, because of this stalemate of what was going on, they basically tied the president's hands, in my opinion, so they could not, get what Mal? He needed to do something, because here's the other part. Let's look at this from another angle. Okay, if the president didn't do anything, okay, let's say he just said, hey, they're going to negotiate, they need to figure it out, and I'll just sit back and wait. If he did nothing, people would be complaining then because he didn't do anything. So realistically, he is in a no-win situation, because this country is unfortunately so divided, which is sad realistically, because if people really realized how badly we're all being played, we could change this around in a heartbeat. But you have people that like I said, I have a buddy of mine, love the guy to death. Okay, love him to death, and we've had plenty of discussions on everything. And I had said to him, I said, you know what, dude? I said, I don't care if the president did something positive. You hate him anyway, so no matter what he does, you're not going to like him. And he got really mad at me about that, but then once he sat down, and I wasn't saying it to be critical or anything, I'm just saying it's a fact, because his dislike for the president is so strong that it doesn't matter what the president does, he's not going to agree with it. And then he came back at me and said, well, like the next conversation we had, he goes, well, you're the same way about Hillary Clinton. I said, oh, you're 100% correct. I said, I can't stand a woman. I absolutely cannot stand a woman. I never did, but I see her for what she is. And there's so much with that, okay? At least, like the president or dislike the president, at least you know what you're getting, okay? At least you know what you're getting. But the thing is, he's been put in a position where he had to do something, or, and I love when people say, well, it's an election year, that's why he's doing it. I honestly believe, this is again in my opinion, I honestly believe he's trying to help the American people. The rest of these politicians on both sides of the aisles continue to play games. I know that the Democrats, one of the main sticking points for them, they wanted $915 billion, so that like places like Minneapolis and all these other places that have had riots and burnt down their own neighborhoods and did all that they can get money to rebuild them. Well, you know what? I'm sorry, and call me cruel, call me harsh, or whatever. You burn down your own neighborhood, screw you. You're done. Okay? I wouldn't rebuild it. Not with federal money anyway. Not with my tax dollars. When you destroy your own stuff, why should I have to be taking my tax dollars and putting it in to help somebody rebuild destroyed their own stuff? Because what, they're going to go back later on and do the same thing again? Okay, the next time they're angry at whatever perceived injustice that is out there. Okay, I mean, it's just, or let me rephrase that. Anything that the media tells them to be angry about. Let's correct that. I'm sorry, because they're not going to do anything without the media's say so, and the media fanning the flames and getting things all riled up, and the hatred boiling over for everybody. Ridiculous. But anyway, so the president's hands were absolutely tied, and the fact that he did something to try to help the American people, that I try to applaud. Now, there's going to be people that are going to break it down and say, with the payroll tax, that it's deferred, it's not permanent, and that people are going to have to pay it back. And I get it. Okay, I get it. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do for the people? See, this is my problem. Now, I don't get any of this. Okay, so it's like I'm not getting any money from the government at all. So it's not like this doesn't affect me one way or the other. But the problem is, I look at all these families that are struggling. So let's break this down another way really quickly. So all the people that say, well, they're getting all this extra money and it's not right and they shouldn't get all this extra money. Let's break that down a second, okay? Let's go with a husband, wife, 3 kids. Let's go with that, okay? So you have a husband and wife, 3 kids. Both of them were working, because in this day and age, everybody has to work to try to keep your head above water, all right? So now, both of these people have been furloughed from their jobs because of the virus, right? So it's not like they wanted to stop working. They were forced to stop working. So now they're on unemployment. Unemployment does not pay the bills. Anybody that's ever been on unemployment, I was on unemployment one time. Unemployment does not pay the bills, okay? It's not going to keep you going and everything's going to be great. It doesn't work like that, okay? So that extra money that these people were getting was helping them keep their heads above water, all right? Now you have the schools closed, so now those kids are all home. You have school-age kids and both mom and dad are working. Who's watching those kids, right? Do you put them in daycare with a whole bunch of other kids? I mean, it's just, this is a no-win situation for the average family in America. Now, you have had so many businesses shut down on top of this. On top of it, maybe one of them doesn't have a job to go back to. Maybe the other one does. I mean, do you see where this just completely can get out of hand really, really quickly? And the thing is, when you're working and you're making that money, you're used to a certain lifestyle. Everybody does. Whatever your income level is, you get used to a certain lifestyle. That's how it goes for most people. Unless you're very disciplined and you save your money and you don't spend it frivolously and stuff like that. Most people are basically paycheck to paycheck. There's no judgment on that. I'm not judging anybody for that. I'm just saying, because that's the reality of it. Most of us in America are paycheck to paycheck. We are, 3 meals away from being in poverty, or 9 meals, 3 days away from being in poverty. Now, when you kick people out of their homes and, and I get it, you don't pay your mortgage, you lose your home. But the thing is, there are times it comes down to you have to prioritize. And if you have children, making sure your children, eat first is probably the better thing. We need to, Father of Jay said, we need to worry much more about the impending financial market apocalypse. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what, guys, that would be the thing. 2 things scare me. I'll be honest with you, okay? 2 things scare me. And I think they both could happen still at some point this year. I really think that both of these things could happen, all right? One is a financial collapse, because there's no way we can keep doing what we're doing and not get let's see, what do you think he's talking about when the president said that you won't see him for a while. I have no idea, Supermom. I had not heard that. So I can't answer that. I have no. I did not hear him say that. But like I said, financial collapse would be a huge one because there's no way we can keep doing what we're doing and survive. There's just absolutely no way. Okay, so something has to give at some point. They can't just keep printing money, like they're one of the main problems when we went off the gold reserve. And this again, I'm giving you my opinion on this one. Okay, so I'm going to always be clear on when we went off the gold reserve, the fiat dollar is backed by nothing, so they can print as much of it as they want. But where's the value in it? There's no value. It's not backed by anything. Okay. So that's one of the reasons why I have always said to people through this channel, have silver. I don't say gold because gold's too hard to get rid of. It's way too expensive. But silver is very tradable, especially junk silver. And what I mean by that is your dimes, your quarters, your 50-cent pieces, and your silver dollars. Those ones are going to retain value. That money's going to be still worth something. When I say junk silver, anything or 1964 or earlier is 90% silver with your dimes and your quarters. So that's just, that's my opinion. I like to have some of that on hand as far as, again, for barter and stuff like that, because you're going to need that. Because the paper money, it might not be worth nothing that it's printed on. So, because it's, like I said, again, it's not backed by anything. Okay. Again, the second thing that I absolutely see that could happen if our power grid is attacked in some way, be it, electronically or, a cyber attack or a coordinated attack in different spots, big issues, big issues. Because if the grid goes down, all H is going to break loose. Okay, that's my absolute. I believe that those are two things that absolutely have a strong possibility of happening. Oh, and let's not forget that a point too that we're rushing towards World War III with China at the same time. That looks like that's a possibility as well. So I mean, it's insanity. I mean, looking at it, because I sit back a lot and I watch and I pay attention to stuff that's going on. Okay, the insanity is just absolutely out of this world. It's unbelievable. And again, who suffers at the end of the day? The most vulnerable people in this country. You're extremely poor people. You're working poor, because that's what a lot of middle class are now. They're not middle class anymore. They're working poor. So big issues. And because the president stepped up and is trying to do something when, Congress and the Senate are doing nothing but playing childish games and bickering. Again, that's why I did the video the other day applauding what he did, because of the fact, like I said, guys, I'm going to tell you what. Anybody that watches this channel knows I hate politics, cannot stand politics. I think the left and the right are two sides of the same coin. They're two feathers of the same bird, okay? They're all corrupt. Look at the corruption that happens all the time, and they get caught, and then this one gets disgraced, and this one's out. It's a revolving door. Then the next one's come in with all these promises. They're going to do this, that, and the other thing. The one thing I will say about Trump, at least he's tried to keep his promises. If you look at other presidents compared to what he promised and what Trump promised, at least Trump is trying to keep his promises. Now, when you are fighting against a super biased media constantly, it makes it very difficult. Very difficult, so. But the left is insane. The extreme right can be insane too, Jay Andrews. Again, when you're talking your extreme leftist and your extreme right, those two fractions are absolutely insane. They're absolutely insane. Okay? Now, not everybody on the left is a bad person. See, the weird thing is, why do you have to be either extreme left, or you either have to be left and believe everything the left says, or you have to be on the right and believe everything the right says? That's not free thinking. That's not free thinking. That's following the mantra. Okay, guys, I see we're at 1.1 in the chat, and we're at 334 on the thumbs up. I'm going to ask you to shoot a thumbs up if you haven't done so already, and I appreciate that. And thank you very much for doing it. It really does show support for the channel, and it really helps with the algorithms with YouTube as well. The more interaction, the better it is. And honestly, I like to see a lot of thumbs up as well. So thank you ahead of time for doing that. Also, yeah, we're going to talk about that in a second, JJ, too. And also, guys, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Okay? So, JJ just put up there that earthquakes hit the Carolinas this morning. I know that North Carolina had a 5.1 earthquake this morning. There's a lot of, and see, there's the other part. The other part that people aren't really talking about. Grand solar minimum is happening. We are in the midst of a pole shift on top of that. That's been proven. The poles are shifting. So it's not like, oh, that's made up and it's not real. It's been proven that the poles are shifting. Again, we're in a grand solar minimum, and we're having a lot more earthquake activity, a lot more volcanic activity, which affects the weather, which affects everything. That is anyone already noticing the food shortages? Randy Romines just said it. Yeah, there's the other thing. Things are not as available as they were before. I think we're in. I'm telling you, folks, we are in big trouble. Okay, now I'm not a big gloom and doomer. I'm not a, oh my God, the end of the world is happening, and I don't want to do that, because it's not effective. That helps nothing. Okay, but what can help is if we stay focused. We try to keep the distractions to a minimum with everything that's going on, because there's a lot of distractions out there, and just try to focus on helping yourselves and your families. It's just stock up on everything that you can possibly think of. And somebody just said stock up on seeds. Very smart thing to do. The more seeds you have, the better chance you have of surviving in a post-event, because we are going to not be hunters. We're going to be gatherers, is what we're going to be. All right? Because there's not going to... Here's the thing that people don't... They lose sight of, okay? Oh, the woods are full of animals. Yeah, because everything is regulated right now. You take those regulations off in the end of the world scenario, those woods are going to be hunted dry rather quickly, unfortunately. Because everybody's going to be out there. Everybody's going to be looking for food. And they're going to make things... extinct in no time. If you go back to the Great Depression, okay, when the Great Depression happened and everybody was starving, the animal population in the woods was depleted so badly that it literally took 30 years for that to get back up to normal numbers. 30 years. So I want you to think about that. Now, let's think about how in the 1920s, 1930s, how many people were in this country then, as opposed to how many people are in the country now. So there's something to think about as well. So it's going to be gathering and growing. That's what we're going to be. We're going to be out harvesting wild edibles and growing your own food. And that's how people are going to survive more, moving forward. Let's see. I am not a Trump supporter, but however, he rules like a king should rule. James Seck just said that. Well, you know what? If you have people that are doing nothing but grandstanding and playing games constantly, because everybody wants to be right, unfortunately, in there, okay? And they're going to criticize anything that the other side does. And like I said, the whole blame game. The left blames the right blames the left, and nothing gets accomplished. Nothing gets accomplished. And we elect these people to represent us, to help us, and they don't. And that's what blows me away more than anything else. These people don't help, and they're not looking out for the small guy. I'm telling you, there's so many positive things that they could do to enrich people's lives, and I'm not talking about giveaways, folks. Because giving somebody something and that helps them for a short period of time. But if you can educate somebody, you give people a purpose, you give them a reason to get up every day, you give people self-worth. That's probably the biggest thing right there. If they can wake up and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to get up, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to, make a difference. That's what it's all about, making a difference, having that self-worth, being a positive person, not a taker, not a parasite, That's what we need to focus on. And I'm going to tell you what, there is, unfortunately, in this country, we have so many young folks that have the brains that could do so much good, but they can't get the education because they can't afford it. That's a shame. That is an absolute shame. And I hate seeing that. I really do. I hate seeing it because it's like that's a wasted potential. When you have gifted kids and they're stuck in a school system that says you would need to stay inside this box right here, and if you break outside of that box, then you're bad, and that's not right. You can't do that. Man, that's a horrible thing. That you take away that creativity and that freedom to think outside the box. I was never an inside the box person. I never was, But let's see. Hold on a second. I want to read this. Americans are much more lazy now than before, too, except for we preppers. Yep, follower of Jay said that. Yeah, and that's the other unfortunate thing. Nobody wants to work. A lot of these people, this is beneath them. That's beneath them. They won't do it. So you just can't keep giving out free handouts. You can't. That is not the answer. Politicians don't want people to have self-worth. They want to dictate. You're right. They don't. They don't want people. What they don't want people to think for themselves, because when people start to think for themselves and look at what the problems are and what the solutions could be, it's getting rid of all these freaking parasitic politicians. It's wasted potential is the kids using energy to tear up neighborhoods rather than the creativity to build them up. You're right, Annette Boyle. I agree with you 100%. But the problem, and there's the other part of the problem, there's no guidance. There's no guidance with these kids. Hey, Asif, the inner core is shifting and causing the pole shift and destabilize the Earth's crust, leading to usual earthquakes. Solar minimum also causes earthquakes. Yep, no, I agree with you. It's like the pole shift is a big thing, but the grand solar minimum definitely affects things as well. And thank you so much for that statement, and thank you very much for the donation as well. The agenda is to tear people down and submit. Annette Boyle just said that. Yeah, that makes absolute sense. Just letting you know, I emailed you a few hours ago, like I said I would. Okay, Elena the fam. All right, I will go and check that out. Hey, Merry Christmas. Today is the day of salvation. Repent and be baptized in Jesus' name. Acts 2:37-38. This is the only way to let me finish reading that. This is the only way to heaven. Jesus loves you, Ed. Thank you very much for the statement, and thank you very much for that donation as well. I do appreciate it. Thank you. But are the chickens in good health? Wayne Dahl just said that. Yeah, no, the chickens are awesome. The chickens are awesome. They're doing great. The babies are getting big, very, very healthy. So what a year. Next year should be fun, Tony Draper said. Yeah, I think so. Ed Kaczynski at the Fed is urging Congress to enact a hard lockdown in America for 4 to 6 weeks. Wow. Gigi just said that. And you know what? If you do a hard lockdown 4 to 6 weeks, what is that going to change realistically? Everything. What are people going to do? It's not a positive thing. Would I need to do anything special for seeds and packets? Thank you for your videos, Ryan Arwin. Ryan, what I would suggest realistically, if you have the space in your freezers, freeze all your seeds. Something that comes to mind is the seed vault that they have up in Iceland. They keep everything, all the seeds from around the world, they send them up there. Every species of seeds that they're there, and they're all frozen there in case there's any kind of major disaster. And that's the other thing that I find very, very interesting. And I don't know if you guys know this, but do you know who paid for the shipping for all those seeds? All those seeds that went to the seed vault. You know who paid for that? Bill Gates. That's who paid for the shipping for all the seeds from around the world to be sent to Iceland, to be locked up. That's the one that he did that. PN1, are you planning any more canning videos? It's a possibility. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing that or not. There's some other things that we got to get knocked out, honestly. So I don't know if I'll do a lot of that on video or not. But I may. I'm not, I mean, I've already done canning videos, so people can actually go back and watch the older canning videos. It doesn't change realistically. But I may do some, you know. I may do some. What I got to do is I got to get a hold of Patty, because Patty is like a master canner. From Patty and John, the guys that helped me with the greenhouse. I should go over there and do some canning with her and do it on video. That's what I should do. CCU Nursing, Ed, hold on, I want to read this. We are ramping up surgeries at work because we will believe they will stop surgeries again soon. You know what? And I understand that, and that CCU Nursing just said that. That makes a lot of sense. Hey, Ed, can you talk a little bit about Yellowstone? Dig Brick just said that. Well, you know what? Yellowstone is always there. The reality is one day Yellowstone will go off again. Absolutely, no doubt about it. Yellowstone will go off again. When that is, they can't say. They don't know. They can't predict it. When Yellowstone does go off, that's a global killer. But there's other super volcanoes that we need to worry about. Do you want to go out? Okay, guys, hold on a second. When she comes back, see Miss Molly. I think she's wanting to go out because that's what she normally does. What this cat does to me at night is she's in the house and I'm sleeping. She will walk on my head and go around me, go over, and if I don't get up right away, she comes back and walks on my head again. So they have me trained very well. But yeah, Yellowstone is, that when that goes, all the prepping in the world, it can help, but it may not save your life, because that one's a game changer, especially for the U.S. So, very, very tough. So, this guy's, obviously, you guys probably seen her before, but this is our little girl. That's Miss Molly. She's the mother of Abel and Gelko, and she had five babies. This little bitty kitten here. She's got to be pushing 3 years old now, but she showed up one day and she ended up staying. But she's a little bitty thing. I'll show you. She's just a little bitty girl. Yeah. All right, let me let her out real quick. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. Like I said, my job is never done being a professional doorman for my cats. So, but she's a cute cat, very long fur. She's really loving too, really loving. But she took a while. It took a while to get her to come, because she was pretty feral. So it took us a while to get her to relax. So and that's why she ended up getting knocked up. But she's fixed now, so no more babies from her. But anyway, again, with everything that's going on, there's so many. See, the sad thing, there's so many things that, what if, could it happen? Caveman, look, I had a dream of a train being derailed from the back. Hey, Mountain Girl, just stopping by to show support. My cat will bonk me in the head to wake me up, as if to say the queen must be fed. LOL, stay well. Thank you very much, Mountain Girl. Thank you very much for the donation as well, and I appreciate that. Yeah, cats are, they train us. We are their servants. That's the way it works with cats. So, why is Pelosi wearing scarves around her neck? I have no idea. Maybe that's to hide all the fact, because, I mean, she's in her 80s, so, and it could be to hide all the age that happens, Women can be vain just like anybody else, so, But number 10 cans of garden beans and corn, $2.49. Oh, that's not bad. Not bad at all. But yeah, because she's old. Yeah, Nancy. That's Nancy Pelosi. That's But anyway, if we stay focused, control what you can control. It's all any of us can do. So we continue to get ready. We do the best that we can. The reason that I wanted my mom and my sister here and like that, and and then have a place for Margie to run to if something bad goes happen. I want them to be safe. So if my sister's here and my mom is here, then I know they're going to be safe. And that's important. And plus, that's people that I can count on, and I know I can count on them because they're family. And it's and what people like lose sight of, I think, in today as well. Hey, Merry Christmas. What do you think about the meteors hitting? I saw that. It's we've always had meteors hitting Merry Christmas. It's not like that is anything new. I know they're talking about we're going through some kind of meteor belt. It's hard to say. You just, those are things you don't know how much validity there is in that, how bad it would be. Again, there's so many different things that can happen, and the way that they do things, it's crazy. So, but yeah, it's hard to say with that. I mean, I really haven't done a lot of research into the whole meteor thing, just because there's so many other things going on that could majorly affect us as well. Like I said, guys, if the power goes out, nightmare. Think of your worst case scenario and then times it by 10. That's what happens when the power goes out. Because again, as somebody stated earlier, we're lazy in this country. Frankie's Pro Septic. Started my first garden. It's doing good. Chickens next. I've learned a lot from watching you. Thank you. Also a single father myself, 13-year-old daughter. Mom's close brothers down the road. That's very cool, man. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you very much for saying that as well. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much for the donation as well. Again, with anything that we do, guys, practical practice is the most important thing. Learning by experience. Getting those gardens in. So here's the thing, and I don't know if you guys know this or not, but what I plan on doing when the fall gets here and the leaves all fall down, I will do a layer of leaves on every one of these beds. They'll get a layer of leaves because that is the best thing you can do for them. Hey, Dig Brick. Ed, how many genders are there? We're not going to get into that debate. We're not even going to get into that. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going into that. I'm not a politician, so we're not going to touch. That's a subject I'm not going to touch. So, but because if you can ask 10 different people and you're going to get 10 different answers, I believe there's two. I'm give you my opinion. I believe there's two. So, but that's just me. A lot of the stuff that they're coming up with today, it's interesting, But I want you guys to think. I'm gonna make a statement, and I want you guys to think about this. And I don't believe that this is any kind of mental illness or anything like that. But if you have a man or a woman, okay, that feels in their heart that they're the opposite sex, that a man who feels like he's a woman or a woman who feels like they're a man, and they go through the radical things that they do to change their outside appearance to match how they feel on the inside. I don't think that has anything to do with any kind of mental disorder. I really, truly don't. It's just sometimes that's just the way it is, okay? And so when people go to that extreme and the hatred that they deal with. So let's think about this, okay? Let's talk about this. And I'm sure you guys have seen the videos online. In the black community, if you have somebody who's transgender, now you think about it, you already have an issue, and then you throw transgender in on top of it. More transgendered women, men to women or women to men, are killed. The life expectancy in the transgender community is a lot less. The suicides are a lot higher. It's a horrible thing that the way people treat other people. My thing is this, and this is the way I'm going to tell you what. This is how I feel. If you are doing something for yourself that makes you feel better, how is that any of my business? If you do something that makes you whole or complete, to make you feel like you need to feel, You know, hold on a second. Merry Christmas just said the power goes out in America, and 98% won't make it. It'll be a lot. It'll be a lot. We'll go back into that in a second. But, you know, who am I to tell somebody else what to do? Who am I? I'm just another human being. So, again, I'm a big believer in judge not, lest you be judged. I don't judge anybody. If you do something what two consenting adults do behind closed doors, that's none of my business. I don't care. So do whatever you want to do. So that gets back. Let's go back here a second. Let's go back to the whole left and right thing. Let's go back to that for a moment. All right. And again, I don't tell people that they're wrong to believe whatever they want to believe. You believe whatever you want to believe. If you feel that it's right, that's great. That's your own thoughts. You feel that way. That's fantastic. But like I said, I don't like to judge people. You know. So. Add the doctor who delivers a woman's baby ends up telling you whether you're a girl or a boy, and that depends on what's between your legs. Well, yeah, no kidding, Julie, no kidding. But again, let's talk about this really quickly. So the left and the right thing again. You either have to, in our society right now, you're either all the way left or you're all the way right. Well, that's crap, because I have some of my thoughts are left-leaning thoughts. Some of my thoughts are right-leaning thoughts. Now, I would more consider myself a conservative for the most part, because like I said, I'm a big believer in helping people to help themselves. Now, that's more probably left thinking, okay? But, again, I think that there's an opportunity that we can give people self-worth. And I'll always go back to my own self, guys. I will always go back to my own self. Once I got out of the military, I bombed around for several years. I worked in shipping and receiving. I worked as a short order cook. I worked at produce for Wegmans. I worked in the produce department in high school. I worked a full-time job in a produce department for Tops. So I bombed around for a lot of years trying to find myself. What do I want to do with the rest of my life and stuff like that? And I had a cousin who's also a nurse. And he, at that point in time, he said to me, he goes, Ed, why don't you try nursing? And I was like, no freaking way. And he's like, I think you would be really good at it. And so I tried. I started out as a CNA, and I worked as a CNA for 5 years. And I loved it. I knew immediately this was my calling, was to help people, to try to make a difference. And that's why I got into nursing. Then I went back to school and got my nursing degree, and I've been a nurse for 25 years, okay? So, and I would be the last guy that anybody think would ever become a nurse. Trust me on that one. Hey, Nikki Johnson. Looking to help others set up gardens and small farms. I have knowledge and want to help others. Well, there you go. That's a good thing, but you got to have people willing to work to do that, and that's the thing too. What a lot of people don't get, doing gardening and doing those type of things, it's effort and work. And unfortunately in our society today, a lot of people don't want to. They don't want to work and they don't want to put in that effort. Okay. So, but, do you keep your nursing license? Shirley Nickel RN just asked that. Yes, I still have my nursing license. I retired. It was 2 years ago in February. Right now, I have kept my nursing license. I'm not sure if I'm going to renew it when it comes time to renew, because I have no desire ever to go back into the nursing field. To be honest with you, I completely burned out. Politics and the BS and not being able to take care of people the proper way that they need to be and should be taken care of. Big issue with that. If I did go back into nursing, I'll put it this way. If I did go back into nursing, I would never go back into a nursing home. I would do home care. That's the only way I would ever go back into nursing. I would do home care. Gene Zimmerman. Ed, I explained the sample of communism we experienced in the last 5 months. It's definitely, that's the weird thing, which I don't understand. The younger generation doesn't pay attention to history, and history has a tendency to repeat itself. Thank you very much for that statement, and thank you for the donation as well. But, the younger generation doesn't pay attention to any of that type of stuff. And so if we don't learn history and follow history, we are doomed to repeat it. Keep up your license in case you ever want to volunteer during an emergency. Well, Randy, if I want to volunteer during an emergency, they're not going to care if my license is valid or not. As long as I have the experience and know what I'm doing, they would take the help no matter what. So, you know, I do home care with seniors. It's so rewarding. Peggy Nichols just said that. Yeah, you know, home care is absolutely the best way to go, because you can give that person that one-on-one care. And like I said, not only that they deserve, but they should have. You can't do that in a nursing home. You just can't. So if you guys are thinking about getting into nursing or anything like that, or being a CNA, home care. Home care is the way to go. It absolutely is the best, because, like I said, then you're directly working with your patient, and it's so much more rewarding. History is already repeating itself. Look what's going on now. Yeah. Oh, I agree. I agree with you 100%. It's insanity. We're just watching the stuff that's happening, and watching the younger generation want socialism and communism and stuff like that. And again, why do they want it? Let's think about this, okay? Let's think about, why do they want it? They want it because they're lazy and they're entitled. They don't want to have to work for anything, okay? If you don't have incentive, if you don't have risk and reward, you're never going to get anywhere. The reason that we are such a great country, for the most part, other than the stupidity that we allow to happen to ourselves, is because you can be from very humble beginnings and rise yourself up to greatness if you put in the work and the effort. Hey, Asif, my cousin is home health nurse and loves it. There you go. Yep, absolutely. Like I said, it's a very, very rewarding way to go. Very rewarding way to go. So we're going to do the egg count here, guys, now. So I'm going to have you do your guess on the egg count today. But while we're doing that, I see we got 1,300 people in the chat, and we got 600 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do that to show support for the channel. Again, it also really helps with the algorithm as well. So the more interaction, the better, higher up we'll go up in their algorithm. So thank you for doing that. And of course, I really do like to see a nice number of thumbs up as well. So thank you again. So again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, you know, please make sure you do subscribe. I got to see something here. Hold on. You know, make sure you do subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon as well to get all notifications. And thank you for doing that as well. All right. So, and I just saw a name that I had not seen before, and I had the perfect guess of what we did for eggs today. And I love the name, so I'm going to say it. If you had the same guess as Old Broad, love the name. Love the name. 10 eggs. We had 10 eggs today. And so the eggs, chickens, nice and steady day. And yes, Thick Neck did lay her egg today. Now, she laid late today. It was funny because I was at 6 eggs. And when we went out a little after 7 to lock them up for the night. And I did that last check. There was 4 more eggs then. And that got us up to the 10 eggs. And Thick Neck had laid at that point. So she had laid within that last couple of hours. So, but why am I not surprised that I like the name Old Broad? I just think that that's funny. You know what? Here's the thing that I think is funny. When you can look at yourself and laugh at yourself, I just think that I love to bust chops. I love to have fun. Life is, you know, unfortunately, we have too many people walking around with that corn cob shoved straight up their behind. They can't relax. They can't take a joke. You know, people are so pent up, and they got to be right on top of everything else. You know, you don't always have to be right. I'm not always right. Most of the time I am. I'm only kidding. But, you know, like I said, again, you know, it's just, life is too short to be wound up so tight all the time. You got to laugh. You laugh at yourself. You laugh with your friends. You know, that's what makes life fun, you know. That's because Ed never has a bad hair day. You're right about that, JJ. And I got this awesome green tea. But yeah, no, I love being bald. It's so funny. I'll tell you a quick story real quick. So when I was a kid, my grandfather, hey Digbick, Ed, do you think the statues of slave owners should be in public places? You know, it's not a matter of slave owners. It's depending on what they've done for history. And at the time, like Andrew Jackson is a great example. We'll use Andrew Jackson. He was a president He was a leader in this country. He was a slave owner as well. But at that time in this country, slavery was legal. So he wasn't doing anything illegal at that point in time. Now, do I think it's right to have slaves? No. Are there slaves still today? Yes. There's slavery happening all over the world still today. Now, that being said, I don't, he's a person that made a huge impact on this country. And so I think, yes, his statue should be up there. Was it George Washington? I think, who was the other one? I'm trying to think of that had the slaves too. But there's a lot of them, guys. But again, at that point in time in our history, again, we're talking over 200 years ago, almost 250 years ago. It was legal. So, I'm going to tell you what. Anybody that's a slave right now or has been a slave or anybody that's owned a slave now, that's wrong. We all know that's wrong, right? So something should be done about that. We don't have slavery in this country anymore. So, we need to stop beating on dead horses. Jefferson is the other one. Yep. Thank you very much. Thank you for saying, yep. Thomas Jefferson. Again, he was a great leader in this country. He was a slave owner. But you know what? That's the way it was. So, you can't change it. It is what it is. But pulling down a statue or trying to erase history because it makes you uncomfortable as an individual, that's a personal problem, Get over it. Realistically, I'm sorry. You know what? There's things that have happened. Well, okay, so I have German in me. All right. Is it my fault that the Nazis did what they did to the Jews because I have German blood running through my veins? Does that make me guilty by association? Because some of my family members way back in the day came from the Black Forest area of Germany? No, that's ridiculous. Okay. So we need to stop. That's what we need to do. We need to stop with that. So let me go back to story time real quick. So we're talking about the bald head. So my grandfather, when I was growing up, he had a full head of hair. He could have had and I always had real long hair when I was a kid. I had long hair, parted it in the middle, the whole 9 yards, okay? And my grandfather had this full head of hair, but he wore a buzz cut. Always had his hair buzzed. I never saw him with a full head of hair. I only remember him with a buzz cut. And I remember as a kid saying, man, if I had a full head of hair like that, I'd have that stuff long, you know what I mean? And so when I got older and I started thinning out, I always said I would not look ridiculous. I would not have the hair on the sides and then nothing through the center here, or have my hairline so far back. And in my case, that's how it is. My hair comes up and then I would be, receded pretty badly. I said I was not going to look ridiculous. I was never going to do a comb over because I thought that was the most ridiculous thing I ever saw in my life. And I'm not that vain with it. I don't care. It's hair. So I've been shaving my head now, oh my God, probably at least 18 years. At least 18 years. The kids have never seen me with hair. When the kids saw the wedding pictures when they were 5 months old, and I actually had hair in the wedding pictures, and it was short, but I had hair. They were like, "Oh my God, Dad, that's what you had hair?" I'm like, "Well, yeah." And it was shortly after that wedding is when I started shaving it full time. And if I could grow my hair back, if all my hair magically I woke up and I could take a pill and it could all grow back, I would still shave my head because I like it. It's low maintenance. I don't have to worry about it. I wake up and my hair is done. So, that's, but yeah, that's why we do that. So, but anyway, people choose to associate with negative to people, two things. They can also unchoose that attitude. That is a great thing. Yes, that's a great statement. I like that. Yeah, men with shaved heads, lives matter. And that, boy, I love that. That's funny. The thing is, we're in a cancel culture now, right? The cancel culture, and everybody's offended. So they believe, people in general, if something is offensive to them, then we should take it down, get rid of it. I did, follower Jay, it's funny that you say that. When I was in nursing school, I had a mullet. I did have the mullet when I was in nursing school because that was what we did back then. Nikki Johnson, what about the Buffalo Soldiers? Do they, hold on a second. Do they owe something to the Native American people? We all owe a previous civilization. And there's the thing is like people like to pick and choose. Okay, that's the problem too. They like to pick and choose. If you think about it, let's think about this again. Slavery still happens right now in the world today. You get over in the Middle East, there's a lot of slavery going on. Okay, and there's white people enslaved over there as well. Just so you know, women are kidnapped, they're sold into slavery. It happens all the time. You look at in Africa, it's still happening in Africa. Okay, what people really should be focusing on here in the United States. We realized in the United States that slavery was wrong and we abolished slavery. Now, I'm not saying we as in us now, but our ancestors did. They realized that it was wrong and they stopped it, okay? But they don't think about that. People don't want to talk about that. They just like to focus on the negative because the negative is what gets the attention. And playing the victim gets the attention. Each one of us, guys, everyone that's watching my stream right now, I don't care what color you are, we are responsible for our own actions. Doesn't matter what color you are. And here's the best part, the very, very best part of this. If you are in the United States right now, you're an American citizen, okay? The only one, and I've said it many, many times, that can hold you back is you. If you play the victim, if you feed into that, I hate that. I'm telling you what, that's the one thing I can't stand. Oh, I'm this way because this or that or the other thing happened to me. I'm going to tell you what we're responsible for, okay? Here, and then this is what I just did this the other day with somebody, and I won't say who, but I just did this with somebody the other day. Here's a line. On this side of the line is the past. Can we change the past? Absolutely not. We can't do a thing about it. But on this slide right here, that's today. And moving forward, we are the captain of our own destinies. Each and every one of us out here. So how it goes or how it does not go, that is up to us. That's up to us. So if you want to continue to play the victim and blame everybody else for your non-successful life or because you didn't do something in life, that's not on anybody else but yourself because you can change it. You can look at the patterns that happened in your life and decide, I'm going to tell you what, this is what I did. This is and like I'm not so great and I'm not so awesome, but I looked at the patterns that happened to me as a youngster, okay, and I didn't like it. All right, I had some very, very bad stepfathers, okay. But when I became a father and I became a stepfather, I made a conscious choice to be the best father that I could possibly be, to be a great stepfather to my stepson, okay, and I didn't treat him any different than I treated my own children because he was mine as far as I was concerned too. Josh has grown up to be a great kid and he's a good person. His father came to me, and I want you to think about this. Now, your ex is remarried, right? And, your kid spends half the time with that family, and that's how our situation was. We had Josh half the time. He came to me, and he said to me, and I want you to think about what kind of man this is that would say this too, okay? He came to me and he said, Ed, he goes, I want to tell you something. He said, I could not have asked for a better stepfather than you have been for my son. He says, because I know how you treat Josh and I know how you feel about Josh. He said, so I wanted to thank you. Now, it takes a big man to do that. And I have so much respect for him, But the thing is, when you're giving your child half their time to this other family, you would hope that they treat that child right. Let's see. Digbick. Ed, do you think African Americans are owed reparations? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm going to tell you why. Anybody that's black today, that is born today, has never been a slave. They've never been a slave. Anybody white today that's alive. And oh, by the way, black people own slaves too in the United States. The first slave owner in the United States was black. That's proven history. But anyway, we're going to get off that. Anybody white today in the United States has not owned slaves. So there is no reparations. We don't owe anybody anything. Okay? And, that's just the way I feel about it. Nothing I did. My people didn't come over here late 1800s. So, Slavery was already gone at that point. So, we had nothing to do with it. My people were poor. So, that's the reality. So if somebody was still alive that was a slave, then absolutely I would say that person is owed something. But they're not. Okay? So I should pay for something that I had nothing to do with? That's ridiculous. Lace up your bootstraps, whoever you are, anybody, and I'm not saying the person that made the statement, but anybody, lace up your bootstraps, realize that we live in the greatest country in the world realistically, because they don't call it the land of opportunity for nothing. If you are willing to put in the effort and the hard work, you will be rewarded. And I don't care what your background is. I'm going to tell you, why do you think? I want you guys to think about something. I'm going to use the Asian culture, because we're not doing the black and the white thing. We're going to use the Asian culture for a moment. Why do you think that the Asian culture comes over here, they open up a restaurant, and they're very successful? Why do you think that is? I'm going to explain to you why that is, okay? And we'll talk about the Arabs that come over. Like everybody, the joke is they own all the 7-Elevens and all that type of stuff. I'm going to tell you, we're going to focus on the Asians, and we're going to talk about the Middle Eastern folks. The reason that those two groups of folks are so successful in this country, because they come from an area where it is very depressed. Again, this is a land of opportunity, and somebody just put it on here. Saint Gang just said it, work ethic. That's why they're successful. They're willing to work 16 hours a day. They're willing to work 7 days a week. They're willing to all live in one house as a family unit, especially the Asian community. The Asian community truly takes care of their old folks, but they will have the whole family living in one place, working together, okay? And they work hard, and they save their money. They pay that restaurant off. They pay off the house, because they're all pooling their money together, and they work together as a family, okay? Americans that have been here for many, many generations, and I don't care what color they are, a lot of Americans were lazy, we're entitled, we want something for nothing, nobody wants to work for anything anymore. That's the problem, okay? That's the problem. The Arab community, the Asian community has a good work ethic. Why do you think so many of the higher position things, like with the kids with school, why do you think Asians are so successful? Because it's ingrained from them from a very early age, the importance of education, and their parents are on top of it, and they want them to be successful. You would hope that you want your children to do better than you did. I would think that would be the case, okay? Heather and I were just having a discussion today, and she sees how things are for other kids, and she says, Dad, I'm really grateful that you're my dad. And you know what? That means a lot to me, because it's like I said, my kids are so important to me. My kids are everything, and everything that I do, I want them to be successful. I want them to have a good life, because that's important. I want it to be. I would not want my children to have to go through what I went through. So if I can make it easier for them to be able to be successful, but again, see, there's the thing, to be successful with their own efforts, not handing them stuff. Heather, I'm going to tell you right now, Heather has worked her butt off to be where she's at right now, to get the scholarships, to get that help, for school. I couldn't afford to send her to the school she's going to. She's getting a lot of scholarships and stuff like that, and help, because she is a very smart young lady, and she's worked her butt off, and she's earned where she's at. Nobody gave her anything, okay? So that's why. So don't make me get on my soapbox, folks. But again, it's that work ethic. And that's the thing that is lacking. Now, and I'm not going to say everybody under 30. I would never say everybody under 30. But a lot of the folks under 30 don't have that work ethic. They don't, okay? They won't put in that effort because they want something for nothing. But there are kids out there that definitely do have that good work ethic. She learned to be responsible from you. Well, thank you very much, Randy. I appreciate that. But you got to understand something else, too. With her brother having autism, she really had to step up at an early age and have responsibility that a lot of kids didn't have to have because of her brother's disability. So she's a very, very mature young lady, very, very mature, and when I tell you guys, my daughter is my right hand. She is my right hand. Um, you know, and she's a great kid. She really is. And she can't hear me because she's in her room on her headphones and stuff. So, but she really is, and she's earned where she's at. She really, truly has, and she's going to be hugely successful. I think she's going to be way, way successful. With whatever she pursues. So that's just me. But so real quick, guys, I want to talk. We're going to do two things. I'm going to ask for another thumbs up real quick because we're at 749 and we got 1.2 in the chat. So I'm going to ask for another thumbs up really quickly. So if you would do that to show support for the channel, if you have not done so already, thank you so much for doing that. Again, it really does help with the algorithm. So when the video goes up and it's a lot more interaction, it's better that way as well. So thank you again for that. Also, I'd like to see a nice number of thumbs up. So that's because last stream we ended up just a little over 900 is what we ended up in the last stream. So we got to see today. We got to see if we can break that. We're on pace, absolutely on pace. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Okay. So I know that I was being goaded a little bit there by the one individual, but and that's fine. I'm just going to say it like it is. If you ask me my opinion, I'm always going to give you my opinion. COVID will never end. Michael just said it. Yeah, now there's been a lot of talk, guys. A lot of talk too about forced vaccinations and stuff like that. And I'm going to tell you what, I don't believe that would fly in this country. I really don't. Just because people are not going to tolerate that. They're not going to. So, but yep, like Trump, tell it like it is. Hey, you know what? And if you like it, that's great. If you don't like it, I'm going to tell you what, I'm never going to be politically correct. I'm going to tell you that right now. You want my opinion. If you ask me my opinion, I'm going to give it to you. You can never go back and say, well, you flipped your, because this is what politicians do. They'll say this 10 years ago, and now because the political climate is different, they flip-flop and they say something different, okay? You go back 10 years, and I'm going to have the same opinion that I have right now. I don't change the way I think, okay? I have strong opinions like everybody else, but, I just, again, the way I try to live my life, folks, is this. If you treat me with respect, I'm going to treat you with respect. I treat people like the way I want to be treated. I'm going to be nice to everybody, and I don't care, what your background is, how much money you make. Just because you're a CEO of a company does not make you any better than the guy that is the janitor that's cleaning up at night. You just we all put our pants on the same way. The only difference is that guy's making a whole lot more money. That's it, okay? But it don't make him better. The janitor may be a lot better person morally and every other way than that CEO. So, that's the way I look at it. If you're cool with me, I'm going to be cool with you. If you're a jerk, I'm not going to waste my time or energy with you because that's just the way it goes. So that's how I roll. If you're a cool individual, then we're going to be fine. If you're not, then, we have issues. That's how it goes. But I'm not going to play a game. I'm not going to get pulled into something and try to trip me up and say, well, you said this before and now you said this. I've never deviated. Okay? I've never deviated. So, my opinions are very strong and they're going to stay that way. Hey, Tony, thank you very much. Or Troy, I'm sorry. Thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate it. And thank you for the big thumbs up there. That's awesome. So, I want to talk really quickly about the website real quick and just to get the business part out of the way. If you go to my website, preppernurse1.com, we got a couple things there that I want to just make you aware of. If you go through the front, you will see the Legacy Freeze-Dried Foods, and you will also see jdega.com. jdega.com is the CBD and hemp store that I'm affiliated with. If you click on that, it will take you to their store, their online store. If you decide to make a purchase as you're checking out and they ask you for a coupon code, make sure you use Prepper Nurse 1, and it's the number 1, not ONE, and you will save yourself 15% on your purchase. So definitely take advantage of that if you're looking for that type of stuff. Definitely use the discount code so you save yourself some money. Also, we have Ed, are you 60 yet? Not close yet. I'm closer to 60 than I am to 50 now, though, unfortunately. But Also there we have, if you click on a store, it'll drop down and it says Legacy Freeze-Dried Foods. What they have available right now is there. And so if you're looking to add to your long-term food storage with freeze-dried foods, you can take advantage of that there. Their shipping times are much better now. They're getting caught up on stuff, so everything is getting caught up, which is a great thing, believe me, because I'm really tired of getting the emails. Not that it's your fault, but I get it, okay? So, but again, that's the way, that is if you're interested in that. Also on preppernurse1.com, we have the Prepper Nurse One community. It is something for you guys. It is totally free. If you click on that, you do have to register, but it does not cost anything. There's no credit card information asked. You join the community. It's very private. You go in there, a lot of great message boards, a lot of way to connect with like-minded people, and that's why we set it up, because I had so many people saying, I'm trying to find somebody in my state, or I'm trying to find somebody in my country that is like-minded. How do I do that? So that's why we set that up. It's a great opportunity for you guys to meet like-minded people, so definitely take advantage of that. If you want to go in there, guys, and just look at recipes. People post recipes. They post all kinds of information. It's totally up to you, for you guys to take advantage of that. So please do that, okay? So, all right, so that is that. Yeah, I graduated high school in 1984. I was 19 years old when I graduated from high school. 1984. I know I'm coming up on 40 years out of high school. It's like, holy crap. I can't wait for that one. And this sounds horrible, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm looking forward to the 40th year reunion because I want to see who died. Not that I hope anybody died, but I want to see who's still alive when we're all in our late 50s. Going, because there's unfortunately we've had quite a few people that had passed away already. We had one girl that was in my high school that was she was the sweetest, nicest person you ever wanted to meet. She ended up getting cancer and she passed away, and she'd been gone a long, long time. I mean, I think she died when she was in her 30s. So horrible. I'm telling you what, cancer is a monster. It is a horrible, horrible thing. It takes way too many people, but, I'm just a youngin'. Well, thank you. Hey, Big Brick. Ed, what would you do if you were starving, children were eating everything from your garden? We've already done that. I'm not going over that again. I'm not doing that again. So now you're trying to goad me. Okay. So obviously you're somebody that's been watching the channel for a very long time. You saw that video. I explained what I would do, and that's fine. So you know what? I'm not even going to go there. I'm not playing your game. But thank you for the donation. We're not going to play that. So try playing. I'm going to tell you right now, guys. Just so you know, I don't care if you put a super chat up there, and you want to try to goad me and play games. Go play your games with somebody else. So he's trying to instigate. Of course he is, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm not taking the bait. So nice try. Hey, Brandywine. Like you said 2 years ago, 90% of the people will volunteer to go to a FEMA camp for food or lack of food. FEMA will give food to those people if they agree to vaccinate. Brandywine. Yeah, you're right. You know what? I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. I did that video a couple years ago, and thank you so much for the donation, and thank you for the statement as well. And I said, if people are in a desperate situation, I want you to think about it. And I said, if you have children and your children are starving, and they're got this thing, this place, and come here and we'll take care of you. Come, we're going to help you. But you have to give up your guns. People will lay their guns by the gate to go in there and get help. Oh, you got Wi-Fi, you have food, you got TV, oh my goodness, yeah, we're in. Think about this too. You have a child. I don't care if you're a hardcore prepper, toughest prepper there are, and you got your whole game plan set up. Your child gets sick, and they need surgery. And they need surgery to save their life. You're going. You're going to humble yourself and you're going to go. You may try to get away later, but you're going to do what you have to do. So, Ed, does Heather know how you feel about her going back to school? I'm having trouble with my kids going. She does. She knows exactly how I feel. We've had many conversations about that. And so, yeah, that's... and she's a very smart girl, and she realizes that she may not be in school long, and she may end up being back home and doing online again for this, this year with everything. Oh, Jay, you booted him? Okay. Thanks, JJ. Yeah, that's unnecessary nonsense, and we're not going to beat dead horses, as they say. So, but yeah, no, Heather knows how I feel about, I would rather have her stay home and go online. Obviously, she wants to, go back to school. She's young. She wants to hang out with her friends. She wants to do what she wants to do. That's just the reality of it. So, but that deserves a donation for putting up with stupidity. Well, thank you, James. It's just, the thing is, there's, like I said, guys, you're going to have people that like you, and I don't care what YouTuber you are. And there's Wranglestar, great example, okay? I like Wranglestar. I like what he's doing. I like his channel. He is, 1.5 million subscribers now? And he's done very, very well. And he has a dedicated group of people that hate him. And they turn him into the town all the time. It's the same thing. It's what they do. Because they have no life. Their life sucks. They're miserable people. And they cannot stand to see somebody be happy or successful. They can't stand it. It just drives them crazy. So they will do everything that they possibly can do to break you down, to divide you, to try to cause you trouble, and those type of things. It happens all the time. And, and it's a lot of it's jealousy. Success is adding value to one's life. Significance is adding value to others' lives. Exactly. I like that. It's a great statement. But, again, it's just, it's unfortunate. But like Wranglestar, like I said, I really like his channel. I like what he's doing. They just sold their property. They're going to be moving to a new property. And I can't wait to see what they're doing. But you know what? He's somebody. And so, okay, he's genuine. And that's what I like about him. And his family is genuine. And I think he's a good guy. Some of our thought processes are not the same. But that doesn't make him not be a good guy. You know what I mean? So, again, also, like I said, actually, guys, if you are not subscribed to Wranglestar, please go over there. Tell him Prepper Nurse 1 sent you. Subscribe to his channel. Watch his stuff. Especially for you folks that are like super, super religious. He's a very, very religious gentleman. And like I said, I got a tremendous amount of respect for him. I think he's a great guy. And I think he's trying to help people as well. And I think that that's important. We need more of that. I think we really do. So, but like I said, I got a tremendous amount of respect for him. I think he's an outstanding individual. Just like, Marfugal News, Adam, out in Seattle. I like Adam. Some people don't like Adam. That's fine. That is their choice. Merry Christmas 2.0. Today is the day of salvation. Repent and be baptized in Jesus' name. Acts 2:37-38. This is the only way to heaven. Jesus loves you, Ed. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. And thank you very much for the donation as well. And thank you for the statement. I do appreciate that as well. But, but like I said, it's like Adam deals with a lot of hate too. Anybody on YouTube, once you get to a certain point or a certain size for your channel, whatever that channel may be, you're going to deal with hate. Because, again, there's a lot of very petty people out there. They don't like you for whatever reason. It could be the way that you talk. I'm going to tell you what, there's actually a channel that I don't watch. And here's the thing. That's the weird part. Think about that. I don't watch it because I don't like the person's voice. Okay? It grates at me like nails on a chalkboard. So I don't watch that channel. Now, I will never tell you what that channel is. I won't tell you who that person is. I just made a decision that I don't care for them, so I don't watch. It's amazing how that works. Why would you go, and this is, again, I will never understand this. Why would you go and watch somebody that you absolutely cannot stand every day? Why would you do that? It doesn't make that. You want to talk about a masochist? That's a definition of a masochist. That's a masochist. Somebody that likes pain. I'm telling you right now, there are certain channels that I don't care for. I don't watch them. I don't ever go and check on them. I don't ever go see what they're doing. I go, they're not for me, not my cup of tea, so I choose not to watch. I watch people that I like. That's what I try to do. And then if I watch somebody that I like, I'll throw a positive comment up there because I know how much negativity people get. It's amazing. I'm going to tell you what, there are people that I have dealt with that had channels that I thought had the potential to be phenomenal channels, absolutely phenomenal channels, great skills, teaching people how to do different things, could have been huge. But because of negativity, because of trolls, because of people, calling animal control and everything else on them, they stopped doing their channel. And I thought that was such a shame, because they could have, they brought a lot to the table. They really did. But again, people, they can't take it. You have to have a thick skin. You have to develop a thick skin, because otherwise it would eat you alive. It would absolutely eat you alive. And like I said, I have developed a very, very thick skin. Yep, you have to have a thick skin to be on YouTube. Right? Because here's the problem. You can't take it personal. They don't know me. They're making an assumption. They're making a judgment. They don't like me because I have a bald head, or I have to be a white supremacist because I have a bald head and I have tattoos and I ride a Harley. Oh, well, you got to be some kind of big old racist then, or whatever the case may be. It's so ridiculous. It's unbelievable. And like I said, when I'm out riding and I'm all in, got my leathers on and I'm on my Harley and I'm riding, people will make that snap judgment of who I am because of the way I look, the way that I, present myself, if you will. But what they don't realize is if there is an accident or something like that, I would be the first person off that bike to go and help somebody. I'm the first person to do that because it's like, that's who I am. So, it's interesting. It's interesting. So I'm going to ask real quick one more time here, guys. We got to get this up over 900 because I think we did like 911 on Friday. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do that again, please. And thank you ahead of time. And, again, it really does help with the algorithms. The interaction is really good for the algorithm. So thank you for that. And all of you that did the thumbs down, it's still an interaction. So thank you for the thumbs down as well. But I like the thumbs up better. So, again, thank you for that. And like I said, I'd like to see a nice number of thumbs up. Eyes Wide Shut is jumping the gun over here, putting Australia up there. Why are you putting Australia up there, Eyes Wide Shut? I know why. So I'm just busting your chops. Again, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So let's go ahead and do it, folks, because Eyes Wide Shut is already jumping the gun on us. We are legion because we are many. We are all over the world. We're all over this country. Where is everybody at? Where are you all from tonight? So if you would put where you're from, we got Michigan chicken liver. There we go. Illinois, 80-1. Yep. Hudson, Florida, Butler, Kentucky, Sturgis. Very cool. London. We have Georgia. Be careful in Sturgis, man. Too many people. Akron, Ohio, Utah. We have Jersey, Montreal, Canada. Amarillo, Texas. Washington, Ohio. Let's see, Pennsylvania, Buffalo, New York. Let's see, Northeast Kansas. We have Maryland, Waterloo, New York. Sioux City. Let me go back. I got to see what that said. Sioux City, Iowa. Okay, Illinois, Central Missouri, BC, Canada, Texas, Pennsylvania, Sacramento, upstate South Carolina, Illinois, Georgia, Central Ohio, Sarasota, San Francisco, California, off-grid Nevada, very cool. Oh, you got to get it like a ton of sun out there. Northern Georgia, Mississippi, Texas, and the Gulf Coast, South Jersey, New Mexico. We got Germany, very nice. Gatlin, Pennsylvania. We have Portland, Oregon, Wales, North Wales, very cool. Northern Georgia, Valley Mills, Texas, Eastern Kentucky, Alabama, Indiana, Eastern Long Island. The power's back on. That's good. I'm glad for you guys. Alabama, South Dakota, the Adirondacks in New York. We have Connecticut, New Mexico, Florida, Greenwich, Connecticut. So here's another thing, guys, and I wanted to mention this really quickly. If you want to send a T-shirt from the city or the town that you live in, I would love that because I think that's pretty cool because the person that sent me the muscle shirt from Nowhere, Oklahoma, which I thought was absolutely awesome. I love that. In a muscle shirt, I wear a large. In a regular T-shirt, I'm an extra large. So if you would want to send me, if you're from Alabama or if you're from Texas or wherever you're from, you want to send out a T-shirt, the P.O. box is down in the description below. I love that stuff. I think that'd be cool, and I would absolutely happily wear that for you guys. All right, so just putting that out there ahead of time. So I want to thank, again, my moderators who continue. Ed, are you single and asking for a friend? I am single. Right now I have been talking with somebody, I'll be honest with you, and we're going to see where that goes. But, we're, as of right now, I'm still single, but like I said, I am talking with somebody, and I kind of want to see where things go with her, and we're going to go from there. So, you'll probably meet her at some point. So, but we'll see how that all goes. But anyway, we're at 9:48. If we can hit 1,000, guys, I know it's already it's an hour and 20 minutes. It's already 20 after almost. But if we could hit 1,000, that would be cool with the thumbs up. We're at 950 and the thumbs up. So again, if you haven't shot that thumbs up yet, I want to ask again. I want to see if we can get this up to 1,000. We haven't had 1,000 thumbs up in a while. So if we could hit 1,000, that would be awesome. And thank you. Again, it really does help with the algorithms. And like I said, I'd like to see a nice number of thumbs up. So we already beat from the other day, but if we could jump that up to 1,000, that would be very, very cool. I want to thank my moderators who keep the chat clean. I appreciate you guys. That is awesome that you guys do what you do, in getting rid of the garbage and not letting people act like jerks. Because I think the people that come in for the chat want a nice chat, and they appreciate that as well. So I do appreciate you taking your time out for all these shows and staying on top of stuff. So thank you very much. I do appreciate that. So you do deserve someone nice. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And the lady that I'm talking to, she's very, very cool. And she definitely is into the lifestyle of prepping as well. And, so we'll see how things go. But, yeah, so that's where and she's local, which is kind of cool. Long distance relationships are tough. They are very, very tough. So, like I said, I'm just kind of taking it, going with the flow, see what happens, and we'll kind of go from there. So, but, I'm not in any kind of rush. I don't have to have nobody moving in, any of that type of stuff. Like I said, I'm just going to go with the flow, and we're going to go from there. So, but anyway, I want to remind everybody, we really are all in this together. We really are. We are one race called the human race, and people need to think about that, okay? We need to stop letting them dictate to us with the games and all that type of stuff. We just got to stop it, because that's how they win, by keeping us divided and fighting amongst each other. And that doesn't do any good. It doesn't do any good, okay? Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell the ones that you love every day how you feel. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen, guys. So it's really important that we tell the people how we feel every day, how we feel about that. Also, remember STD, step, thing, and day. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you were trying to do, the only person that can stop you from reaching those goals, and again, it doesn't always have to be about prepping. It doesn't always have to be about living off grid. It's just in general. Whatever you're focusing on, whatever your dreams are and your aspirations, if you follow that mantra, you will reach those goals. You'll reach them. And nobody can stop you but you. Okay? So stay away from the negativity. Stay positive. Keep prepping. Keep getting ready. What are we at? 991. We need 9 more thumbs up, guys. So we'll give it a minute here and see if we can get to 1,000. But so we're 9 away. But no, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you being here for the shows and the interaction. I really enjoy that. I love the questions, and we'll see how everything goes. So it's 2:20 a.m. here in North Wales. I'm ready for bed. Good night. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate you staying up to watch. I really do. That's awesome. And we hit the 1,000 thumbs up, guys. That's pretty cool. We haven't done that in a while, so that's absolutely awesome. During the show. See, that hour and 20-minute period, we haven't done that. Afterwards, more people watch and they give it the thumbs up. But during the show, it's been a while since we hit 1,000. So, Ed, have you ever taken your bike over 100 miles an hour? Yes, JJ, I have many times. There's nothing like that. You get that nice stretch of straight road, and you hit it. There's nothing like that. Nothing like that. So, anyway. I will see you all tomorrow, guys. I hope everybody's doing great. Now, remember, Tomorrow, my sister's building is supposed to come in tomorrow afternoon. So look for that. That's going to be fun. I can't wait. So I will talk to you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.